Memory. This is one of those rare times where I've actually looked at the IMDb plot and gone, actually, you might have gotten this one right. Except, for some reason, you make it sound like it's like a horror movie. I don't know. That's the vibe I got. But it stars Jessica Chastain, Peter Sarsgaard, Merritt Weaver, Elsie Fisher, and Josh Charles. And yeah, it's an award season movie. It's been floating around, and I've seen it. So let's talk about it. Um, Memory is about a social worker played by Jessica Chastain, who goes out to her high school reunion. Although I don't know if it's her class or her whole high school. It's very confusing because of the situation that it leads to. When she's followed home by a man played by Peter Sarsgaard from her high school reunion, and they kind of have a weird experience and start talking about life, and the movie progresses from there. I really don't want to spoil too much here, but it did kind of throw me for the fact that she was at this high school reunion thing, and then when she meets him, she's like, "Oh, well, you were, you know." He puts her considerably older than her, and I'm like, why would he go to a high school reunion for a class grade that was like several years younger than him? That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you guys just all get together? Is it just like a celebration for that school? Is it your class of 2000? Like, what is it? You know, like what is the that it did kind of confuse me a little bit, because generally it's hard enough to get people to go to a high school class reunion from your own grade, let alone be like, hey, does anybody else from, you know, any of the class ofs around us want to get together for a reunion that would not be their year, but let's bring them on in anyway. You know, because usually class reunions are on like the 10th, 15th, 20th, 25th. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're usually on milestones. So for you to not be a part of that year and be like, yeah, I'm going to like my 14th. It's not really my class, it's someone else's class reunion. It's the only thing that threw me. I was like, I don't understand. What? Like, what's happening here? Um, the film does try to make some sense out of it, but the fact that was immediately where her mind went, I was like, huh, okay. Um, and she has a mom who is recovering from alcoholism. She herself is recovering, so she's really, she really wants to keep her kids away from it. Elsie Fisher was in here as one of them. And she, she's a social worker, so she's helpful towards other people who are down on their luck. She's sort of like paying it back. But there's some stuff that has been said and not heard, I should say, amongst her and her family, that has sort of coagulated into something that is bleeding into this experience that she's now having with Peter Sarsgaard. Man, this film is really hard to describe without spoiling anything. I promise you I haven't spoiled anything yet. So that's about it. That's about as far as I can go. You're gonna have to find out this film for yourself. I suppose, why is it called Memory? Well, first of all, it's about memories. It's about taking that walk down memory lane with someone from your past. But also, I guess it's Peter Sarsgaard's character is what ties into Memory, which I guess so does Jessica Chastain a little bit, because of some things later. It's a really confusing movie, and I want you to watch it. yourself and figure it all out because, yes, because reasons. Um, this is when I don't want to trip over and say too much about it because I think I can talk about the film and not have to reveal the big reason. Uh, Unlike with like All of Us Strangers, when I saw that, it's like I have to talk about this thing that I think everyone knows. Most people know. I don't know how many people know the thing in memory though. So, and I don't think you need to know it. I don't think this is a film where people just immediately go, oh wow, that's just exactly like my life. Whereas I think All of Us Strangers thematically has something, which is the reason why if you stand like outside of All of Us Strangers, people you just hear people like walking out and they're just like sobbing at the end. They're like, oh my god, that's my life. He put my life on screen. Oh my god. Okay, so memory's not gonna be like that for you. Will it move you? Sure, it can move you. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, movies can move you. Um, you don't have to have a shared experience just to, but it's just that sometimes something hits a little bit too close to home, and I think that's what's happening with the other film. So this is strong. It's not my favorite film of the year by any means, and it would be complicated for me to say that this deserves to get in anywhere in the race. I think Jessica Chastain gives a strong performance here, but it's Jessica Chastain, and I struggle to find performances where she hasn't given a strong performance. Same for Peter Sarsgaard. Peter is sort of like a long overdue actor, and this is a very nuanced role, and it's being oddly marketed as supporting, which is weird. I guess I can kind of see it because we do meet Jessica Chastain first, but damn, he's in a lot of this movie. Um, it's one of those. It's a tough coin flip because in many regards the film sort of becomes about him once he's introduced, even though I would say the protagonist is still Jessica Chastain. Very weird way to describe that. But he becomes sort of the focus of the film once he's introduced, while the protagonist remains Jessica Chastain. So I'm always about like who are we seeing the film through? Who's the vessel? And it's what I was using for the Fabelmans. I was like, well, obviously Sammy Fabelman is the lead of the Fabelmans. When Michelle Williams was like, the mothers are leads of the no, the film doesn't follow you. The film follows this person. Like, where does the camera go? Some films are equally split. Some films are about two people, and it's a rom-com, and you've got a man and a woman together, and the film splits them equally, and they're both leads. Sometimes there are just people who are in the film a lot. And that's kind of what Peter Sarsgaard is. He kind of, because he becomes the central focus, he's just in a lot of the film. But clearly, when we leave the film, the camera doesn't follow Peter, it follows Jessica. Like, Jessica's the one who goes about her daily life and goes and does other things, and it doesn't really follow Peter. So, yeah. Anyway, two strong performances. Neither one of them are going to get nominated for Oscars this year. I really doubt it. Peter did win the Venice Prize for Best Actor. The acting prize over there opposite Kaylee Spaney, who won for actress. So kudos. I like when these kinds of outside of the box choices are made, and we don't just give the same award to the same person all season long. Mix it up. There's a lot of great performances out there. And this is a strong film, but it's not my favorite film. Oddly, this film is not very long. It's like a little over an hour and 40 minutes, and this is a film where I felt the runtime because it wants you to sit in moments, but it assumes that every single moment is like I'm invested. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not fully invested yet because it's trying to keep things from you. So it's odd. And for some people they will be. For some people they will be more invested quicker because again we all relate to different things. Um, you know, whether it's thematically or within a character. Some people will see. Obviously, if you're recovering, you'll immediately relate more to Jessica Chastain and be more into her from the very beginning and into her story. But it just kind of moves a little slow for me. Um, but there are moments in here that are interesting. There are parts of their stories that are interesting. The film does play with memory and the concept of, and also a really interesting concept that I can't talk about because it's a spoiler. But I was intrigued by what this film was trying to say, and I think this will be a film that some people will have conversations about, you know, reacting to the choices that are made in this film after certain things are said. And yeah, I think it's a very interesting film. I just wish it was paced a little bit better. I don't even know that it needs to be shorter or whatever. It just needs to be cut better. I don't know. It's weird. I'm trying to figure out how to say it. Like, because I don't think a movie that runs an hour and 40 minutes needs to necessarily be shorter, but maybe it does. Maybe it needs to be. Maybe it's just even just trimming a few seconds here and there, and bringing us back around to the plot. It's like there's something interesting, and I'm not in it. I'm over here doing this other thing, and I want to go back to the other thing that's actually and be like, wait, what did it say? What happened? Can we go back to that? I feel like there's a lot of that. So, yeah, but sometimes that's what independent cinema is. It allows directors the opportunity to sort of break the conventional rules of making film, and they don't need loud explosions and bombastic scores, and they can just make a quiet movie like Past Lives, and just hope it affects people. Memory will work for some people. It just I don't see people watching it and running around the internet like it's Past Lives, or All of Us Strangers, or The Holdovers, and just saying how much it affected them deeply on a personal level. But maybe I'm wrong. But that's my thoughts on Memory. So, yeah, I thought it was okay. I'm going to give Memory a B. Yeah, it's, I think there's some cool things happening. So I hope you check it out. Anyway, I dodged the thing I usually talk about, and I have reasons. But usually I like to talk about audio description, so please click subscribe. And yeah, I have a website, MacTheMovieGuy.com, and you can go to Twitter, Instagram, or I should say the artist formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, or Threads, and follow me at Mac the Movie Guy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what is audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the ADNA.org. That's the ADNA.org. It'll let you know who's narrating your favorite films and television series. That's it for me today. And I will watch something else and see you guys on the other side.